Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It is Monday. It's time to make those moves for the week. And I just made one because I just bought quite a bit of a particular project I'm going to share with you today that I think actually has some pretty good potential. And it's not very common for me to just kind of ape into something as soon as I see it. But I haven't been familiar with this whole D-pin topic that's been blowing up in the crypto market. I haven't been following super closely, but I am now. I'm paying attention. I'm going to be talking about Nuvola. And this project is something, this is not a paid segment. They haven't given me anything. It's something that I just kind of found wandering around the interwebs, watching others' videos, looking at the news and what's going on. And then I started looking at the chart for it and I'm like, okay. And then I started going through the white paper and I'm thinking, okay. And then I bought 5,000 of them. So I'll probably talk more about this in my Substack, because I don't want this video to be super long, but we're going to talk about Nuvola and what this project is. Now, if you're not familiar with DPIN yet, basically a DPIN is like decentralized physical infrastructure, okay? And what Nuvola does is they are, how do you explain this in very easy terms? Basically, if you think about all of the different projects out there that generate a yield, right, through staking or otherwise, like IAG, basically any of these projects on Cardano or other chains that require you to either set up hardware to mine the token, stake the token for yields, whatever it is. If you're generating a yield off of that token, every token has something different you have to do. Like with Cornucopias, you have to go and you have to buy the staking node, the node NFTs, right? I bought like 8 of those. I'm staking those. I'm generating a yield. That's all great. So there are all these different projects out there that allow you to stake and generate passive yields. Well, the DPIN industry now is growing into a state where projects like Nuvola, let me go ahead and open them up a bit. Projects like Nuvola enable you to ultimately buy their token, stake their token with them, and then that's used to either buy hardware or basically set up the infrastructures necessary to yield those tokens, okay? And by staking the Nuvola token, ultimately all of the effort that they put into staking them, setting up nodes, doing whatever is necessary to generate the yield on all of these different projects, it's all distributed throughout the token holders. So effectively, it's almost like hiring somebody to basically do all the work for you while you generate a passive yield. Okay, it's pretty much what it boils down to in very simplistic terms. So we're going to look at this a little bit. The first thing I looked at is the chart, and this is against USD, and it actually does not look too bad. I mean, this looks like it's been it ranged sideways for a little while until we got into June, and then in June, from the very beginning of June to the end of June, actually not even the beginning, from June 21st to the end of June, it pumped significantly, more than double, okay? And we got a bit of a correction come July and pulled back a little bit, but it was a higher high, and we've been moving up since. Now, locally, in like the last week, it peaked up to around 77 cents. Currently trading at about 71 cents. So basically, I bought 5,000 of these Nuvola tokens, which cost me a little over 10,000 ADA. And some of you guys, Crow, how would you spend so much of your Cardano on something? Well, honestly, I think there's a lot of potential in this, especially for newcomers, because what I did, which I'm going to show you, I bought the tokens using Dex Hunter, which was super quick, easy, which is basically an aggregator of all the swapping engines. So you get what you want at the cheapest price, basically. I also think Dex Hunter is probably going to do pretty well moving into this bull market as well. But Then once you've done that, you can stake these tokens, which was a click endeavor. I mean, it was super fast, super easy. This is where I staked it. You can see I ended up with 4,895.40 after fees and everything of me buying them. But I went ahead and I staked them. It was a simple click. You plug in your password, you sign the contract, boom, my stake number is 59,283. And then when I have a yield, I can just click harvest and the tokens just basically go to my wallet. So it's ultimately very simple to do. This is where you can kind of go in and buy the NVL tokens on Dex Hunter. You just plug in NVL, it brings it up. You punch in how much Cardano you want to buy, how much Cardano worth you want to buy, and you continue the swap. I mean, every bit of this is very self-explanatory when you do it. It doesn't even, you might think, well, I've never done that before. It's very, very easy. But here's the thing, there's 21 million total tokens, 21 million total Nuvola tokens. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you, as I always am. And, I've been looking at this from a perspective of what if they had paid me to do a segment on this project? I feel like I'm a little more critical of projects that are paying me to talk about them on my channel because they're paid, right? And I feel like when a project pays me to talk about them, I want to make sure that I get as much of the pros and cons as possible. And with that, I tend to be a little more critical. What is the one thing that I would say based off of just the tokenomics alone? And when I got into the roadmap and a lot of this stuff where I'm glancing at it and I'm checking things out, trying to figure out, do I want to buy a few of these and see what happens? It feels semi-gimmicky. And I know that sounds worse than I mean it. But what I mean, like when we have 21 million token supply. They just matched Bitcoin's token supply because it's a number that a lot of people relate to as being very finite, being very limited, etc. Right? And so I get the psychology of why they did this, but to me, the very first thing I saw or I thought when I looked at the 21 million token supply is gimmick, because I feel like when you're talking about altcoins with a significant use case like this, and the general nature of it, why 21 million outside of it being kind of a let's match Bitcoin's tokenomics gimmick? That's really the only critique I have so far. But that's not to say it's a bad thing. It's a very limited token supply. So 21 million, that could either be gimmicky or it could be very just unselfish. It could be very much like, if we break down the tokens and like where the tokens have gone, it's not that bad. 3% went to airdrops, which I didn't get any of those, so I don't know what happened there. 5% into liquidity, so basically setting up tokens on the different DeFi exchanges. 10% went to the team. So you've got 18%. Well, that is a very good, that's good tokenomics, especially given the current climate in crypto right now. Less than 20% is being retained by the team for any reason, even though the liquidity that's staked on these DeFi exchanges, that's 5%. So you have 15%, 3% to airdrops. Those are airdrops. 3% of that's being distributed for free to people, right? Just to start establishing more token holders. So really, 10% has been retained by the team. 15% of these tokens went to Treasury. Treasury is being utilized to basically buy into whatever hardware is necessary to generate a yield from whatever token, right? So an example of this would be like with Iagon, right? They're launching their what they're called the Cyclone, right? These little hardware devices that are basically going to be providing solutions for the Iagon network and then generating a yield. So Nuvola would basically go buy some of those units. How many? I don't know. But like hypothetically, they would buy a bunch of those hardware units, set them up in a facility, generate that reward, and then 50% of what's generated will go back and be distributed to all of the token holders. of Nuvola, right? Then the other 50%, some would go to the team, and then some would go back into the treasury to further fund new launches of adoption for other projects that are released, or for cross-chain development and expanding the reach of these tokens to generate a much larger yield. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool to me. I saw this and I'm like, I get the whole concept, and in reality, it's brilliant in the sense that, as I was reading through the white paper, one of the quotes was something to the effect of like, if I see far, it's on the shoulders of giants. Basically saying that like its success is going to be based on the success of others that are much bigger, doing much bigger things, right? So in a sense, it's like through Nuvola, if everything in an economy wins, we all win, because we are being propped up by the growth of all of the projects that it's involved in. And I'm like, that's pretty clever. Kudos to you on that one, whoever came up with that, because it makes a lot of sense and it's very true. 14 million of these tokens were available for token sale, and the pre-sale price was at 32.32 ADA. So basically a third of one ADA. Damn it, I missed that one. Because I'm paying a lot more for them now. I'm like kind of mad because I really would have liked to have a lot more of these tokens, to be quite honest with you. But, I basically bought like 10,200 ADA worth. And, who knows? Maybe I'll work out a long-term partnership with these guys and I'll get a whole bunch more and fill my greedy bags. No, I'm just joking. But so looking at the roadmap, the Q2 of 2024, launching socials, website, Twitter, Discord, incorporation of Nuvola Digital LLC in Dubai. They are in the UAE. So they are basically like, hey, see ya US. We don't like what's going on over there. We're just going to stay our asses over here in Dubai. Don't blame you. Partnership number one, Iagon, which is cool. I'm obviously very bullish on Iagon. I think they have a lot coming. I'm very excited about meeting these guys. We've actually talked about we've been kind of messaging on Twitter back and forth. We're like, hey, what would you think of having like a themed crow cyclone, like these hardware units that they're getting ready to launch? Because I'm like, I want some. I want to see those little puppies purring away up in the corner, you know what I mean, like doing something. But we'll see. And so I posted out on Twitter like, hey, what would you guys think of having like a crow themed Iagon node, or a pig themed, like maybe for Nike, for Charles's pig or something like that, because they said that they can do it. And I'm like, I would love that. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've got some fans out there that would want to pick one of those up. And it seems so on Twitter. So we'll see what happens with that. But Launchpad partnership with Coinecta, cross-chain DEX partner with Dex Hunter. I really do like Dex Hunter. I just picked up a couple hundred Dex Hunter tokens just so that I can open up charts on Dex Hunter. It was no big deal. Stage 1 node OPs, 400 terabytes online, 1.1 million IAG staked. NVL token sale on April 18th. I'm really sad I missed that. Partnership number 2, OrcFax, which I don't know anything about OrcFax. Deploy global scale operations for Iagon. First cross-chain partnership with Minutes Network. Partnership number 4, Cornucopias. That's going to be a fun one. Staking and rewards dashboard, which I just flashed that. I showed you that earlier. Collateralized rewards, lending and borrowing. Now this gave me pause, because now, depending on what they're planning on doing with this, which I don't know yet, that to me feels further gimmicky, because I don't want to see Nuvola take my money and my assets and start branching out beyond its niche. When you start looking at collateralized rewards, lending and borrowing, and you start that starts feeling like a cash grab. Because I love the idea of basically aggregating all of these different staking nodes and all of these different yield farm rewarding platforms and all that, basically doing all the work for me and taking a big chunk of that yield and expanding on the reach of that so that I'm just generating all these tokens like hungry hippos through one. I love that. absolutely, I'm all about it. But when you start getting into all of this lending and borrowing and all of this bullshit, to me, it's like, I do not trust anybody right now that's trying to do the lending and borrowing bit. I just don't. I mean, and know this moving forward, because like, whether it's a paid segment in the future or whatever, because something tells me there's going to be a lot of these, and I'll talk about them, I'll tell you about them, but no, now I'm not feeling it. Like, I'm not using any of those because I don't trust. After Celsius Network and the way that's all been going down and what they're doing to people now, trying to claw back money from people that just like, they invested, they took their money out, now somehow Celsius feels entitled to it because they screwed everybody and need the cash. Yeah, eat it is what I can say. I hope everybody collectively gathers and does like a countersuit against Celsius for even attempting that bullshit. And that stuff has left such a bad taste in my mouth that I just, when I see this, instantly it gives me pause, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I know I'm not going to try and intentionally participate in any of that right now. But hopefully that isn't what I'm thinking it is. Like, oh, if you want to lend your Nuvola tokens and you want to do all of that, like that, keep that gimmicky bullshit out of the equation. Just get rid of it. I don't see anybody benefiting from that personally, more than just letting Nuvola do what it's supposed to do. Let's not get greedy with it. Let's not start reaching, overextending ourselves into areas that we probably shouldn't be in. That's just my gut instinct. And take it for what you will. Maybe some of you guys completely disagree, and that's okay, but that's just how I feel about it. Beta testing Nuvola Drive, which I need to look deeper into that. And then the second Nuvola product and so forth. So that's where we're at, I guess, in the white paper right now in their Q2 roadmap. We'll see where we're going. I actually think that this all looks really cool, except for the lending stuff. Like, just keep that out of my face. No. Nuvola is a network expansion protocol that removes the barrier to entry for average users, allowing them to participate in the decentralized storage and computing reward models via the NVL token without the need for technical expertise. And that's the thing. Like, I know, like, I'm friends with Batman on Twitter. He's obviously not really Batman, but he's a tech guy, and he's been a big supporter of mine, and just somebody that I chat with a lot. Well, not a lot. Like, we're not like going back and forth every day, but we chat out frequently, and he's just a super cool dude. And I know that he's really big on Iagon, and he was telling me about his like Iagon farm. Like, he set up this big staking farm where he buys all of this like processing, storage, all of these things, so that he could take advantage of all the different yields associated with like staking, CPU, cloud storage, all of this stuff. And I'm like, that sounds really cool. I wouldn't mind getting in on that. And he started explaining, it's pretty technical, right? It's a pretty technical thing. And I think he said he's got somebody that helps him with it all. And like most of us have a guy, right? Like, I've got like my full stack guy. I've got another gentleman, Dave, who's been helping me with a lot of my Crow Score stuff. And then I've got some other guys that are helping me with Crow Score stuff and a lot of the AI automated side of it. There's so much to it. Know that that's coming, by the way. Like, that is being built. There's just a lot to it, and the further we get, the more I want to include and the more I want to do. So these guys are probably all kind of hating me, but that's okay. I want it to be as useful as possible. So that being said, I really do like this Nuvola, and I'm curious to see where this thing goes, enough that I was willing to basically part with some of my ADA to be a part of it and to see what happens. And it just gives me something else to follow up on with all of you who maybe you have an interest in it. You think it sounds really good. Or wait, was that the quote that I was talking about? Let me see if that's what that was. I don't think it was. I think it was, where is it? There are a few things more powerful than people united. No, that's true, but that wasn't the quote. Operational strategy. Nuvola's operational strategy is centered on maximizing the efficiency and reliability of the nodes it operates. I think especially right now, given where we're at in the market and what could very well be coming down the pipe sooner than later, as the markets continue to grow, there are going to be a much bigger values associated with the tokens we're able to generate a yield from. And with depend and it being kind of a new trigger word, a new catchphrase, a new, like kind of a new branding for a new element of the crypto market, I actually like it. And I'm curious to see what other projects are out there. But I like the way this is all set up. So you got 25% of these rewards. So effectively, it's like, okay, I just bought 5,000 of these Nuvola tokens, right? So the funds of purchasing those tokens is basically being distributed wherever it's going, whoever I bought the tokens from, depending on like who's selling them from the pre-sale, where they got it like a third of an ADA. Now I just basically paid like 2 for 1. So it's like it's gone up a lot already. And it seems to be in an incline. It doesn't seem to be like, oh, it's spiked up, dropped to the floor. Now it's slowly working its way up. These tokens seem to be in pretty solid demand. So I'm like, okay, I'll get some now because I don't want to wait around, take any chances. The market were to turn around tomorrow, I don't want these to shoot through the moon and then I missed out. So staking rewards, 50% of all staking rewards is distributed to the Nuvola token holders. Wonderful. 10% is going to the team. I guess that's to pay salaries and things for everybody working. I'm not 100% sure. I would assume that that's the case. 25% of those tokens goes to the treasury, which basically enables them to establish new partnerships, bring on new tokens, bringing on new hardware, whatever's necessary to generate more yields, and OPEX and maintenance and things. So there's costs associated with maintaining all the different hardware and the servers and whatever else they're doing. Okay, so that's totally fair. I get it. 50% seems a little bit of a stretch, but okay, fair enough. I would like to have seen this be 60%. Take the 10% from the team, give it as token rewards, because the team should already be well supplied with tokens at the pre-sale and like those early phases, and ultimately able to like play the market and generate more over time if they wanted to. But it's okay. 10%, fair enough. So 25% is basically going to the team. Okay. When you're talking about OPEX and maintenance and then the team, it's pretty much all the team doing that. So it's kind of like, let's be real about it. 25% is going back to the team, and then 25% is going to the treasury. So effectively we're empowering these folks involved with Nuvola to make a lot of money. But they're providing a service, and that's the way I look at it. And that's fair. As long as the service generates a positive yield for its holders that outweighs the cost of the tokens, then that's cool. Fair enough, right? It's a service, simple as that. It's just like companies that are looking to hire like high level developers or executives or whatever. They go through headhunters, and these headhunters will say, hey, we're going to find you the guy you need, but you're paying this guy $150,000 a year. We're going to need like a $50,000 signing bonus for finding the person that you need to help you. And so, it's just, there's big money in doing the work like that, because it's not always easy work. So, and then, the staking side of it, I think it all looks cool. I'm actually pretty excited to see where this goes. I was willing to put in my money and see potential revenue streams. If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Isaac Newton. Rewards for node operators, storage node operations, public staking, IAG to Nuvola owned IAG nodes. Computing node operations, revenue from customer usage of storage and computing on IAG network based on the IAG model above. And NVL stakers have exposure to 50% of the rewards. Now, the further expansion is that they want to go cross-chain into Ethereum, Binance, and of course, so at least we've got 3 out of 4 that I think will be around for a while. So, that's cool. It is what it is, right? So basically the idea is they want to expand this into more cross-chain interoperability and be able to generate yields from tokens, not just on the Cardano blockchain, which, here's the thing. I see a lot of people getting kind of shitty about, this project it launched as a Cardano project and now they're going multi-chain. They're so greedy, or what's wrong with keeping it on Cardano? Listen, folks, Cardano's whole point of existence since its early white paper was to be an interoperable blockchain that works and has functionality across multiple blockchains. If anything, hopefully all blockchains that are worth a shit. So any project that goes to Cardano to build and establish itself to then break free and go multi-chain, that's the whole point of Cardano. So stop getting shitty about it. It's okay. That's why Cardano's here. Cardano's job is to try and help facilitate that interoperability. That's one of the reasons I've loved it so much since the beginning. I think the idea is that people get shitty because they think, well, I want my Cardano tokens to go up tomorrow, and they're not going to go up tomorrow if we're alleviating all of that build pressure, right? Everybody considers it like a tea kettle, right? And like the more stuff we have on Cardano, the more that pressure builds into steam that's going to push the price up. But if we start introducing like interoperability and cross-chain functionality among the different apps that we know and love, that somehow we're basically giving the gift of growth to other chains over Cardano at a time where we're not seeing Cardano's price go up the way we see some others. And I say some because it's still very few, okay? So listen, this is about building an infrastructure, a web across the globe, multi-chain that continues to rise. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to happen overnight, so it's okay. You gotta calm down, folks. I don't see stuff like this and get all bent out of shape because I think they're taking anything away from Cardano. I see them as throwing out grappling hooks and becoming parts of other ecosystems because bridging interoperability, it goes both ways. So just chillax. It's coming. It's all gonna come. Okay. You just have to work it slow. Slow and steady wins the race. But this is a race that involves a lot of cars on a lot of tracks, which gives everyone more opportunity to win. So just chill. Know that that's the plan since the beginning and that it's okay. So outside of that, I would suggest following Nuvola on Twitter, checking that out, reading their updates and things. Check out this. This is the link tree that basically gives you all the links you need to get involved in the ecosystem. You can learn about it on Medium. You can go to Tap Tools and look at the charts. You can buy it on Dex Hunter. Follow them on Twitter. You can join their Discord. You can basically stake. You click this NVL staking. It connects your wallet, boom, bing, bing. It's two clicks and you're done. And it's very self-explanatory. You don't even have to think. You just click that icon, click it, approve, and it's staked. You're done. Then you go back and you check it every once in a while and harvest your rewards to your wallet. I don't really think it could be any easier, to be quite frank. And that's a part of the service. They make it easy for people to benefit from the yield of a lot of different things, and they're constantly adding more partnerships. I'm actually shocked that they only have 4,600 followers on Twitter. My guess is because they have more tech and ability than they do budgets. None of them have ever approached me about doing anything like a paid segment or any of that. They know that I'm like the Cardano guy. I think between myself and like Dan Gambardello and Big Pay, there's a few of us that have been a part of the Cardano ecosystem since the very beginning. And a lot of these companies that are trying to launch something on Cardano know to come to us first. And nobody's ever reached out to me from Nuvola. Just know that. Hopefully they do someday in the future. I wouldn't mind it. But, listen, I actually think this is a pretty cool project. We'll see where it goes. I bought some. Do what you want. I'm not telling everybody to run out and buy any just because I did. Sometimes I buy things as an experiment to give me stuff to talk about and ultimately to give me new stuff to follow that I think is interesting, that could play a really cool role in the Cardano ecosystem moving forward. And I love the cross-chain interoperability. I love the cross-chain effort to expand the reach of the token for more passive yield for its holders. That's what this game is all about, folks. We have to get rid of this zero-sum game mentality. Okay. And I saw somebody on Twitter posting recently that basically, was talking about the tribalism of crypto and all of this. And I'm like, I totally agree. The thing is you never hear me talk about any other blockchains. Like there's Polygon Matic, you've got Polkadot, you've got Ethereum, you've got Bitcoin, there's so many other projects out there. And you don't hear me say anything bad about any of them, do you? Because I don't care. I don't care about other blockchains, and I'm never trying to disparage holders of another blockchain just because they're not on Cardano. the problems that I've had with Solana are based off of their own merit, and like going through the video of DB crypto and seeing all of the red flags, all of the issues, all of the crazy wonkiness and stuff that a lot of these Solana holders love to ignore. That is all just basically, it shows the mentality of not only the community, but its teams in the ecosystem overall. Everybody looks at Solana as either a lottery ticket to hopefully someday get rich quick before you get wrecked, or to wreck as many people as you can while you're filling your pockets. And that just seems like the mentality of the entire ecosystem of what it's all founded on. And they don't care about any of these red flags as long as they're making money in the process. It's like, I don't know. There are so many different analogies I can make to that mentality. It's like, well, I don't care where the money comes from. Just give me some, right? And not all of us are wired that way. And so, I think that a lot of the people that are, they only care about their pocketbook. And I get it. Times are difficult. It's a scary time for all of us. But I believe that, truth, I believe that decentralization, I believe that the things that matter most tomorrow are what are being planted now in the ground. And we can either choose to water them and become a part of that growth, or miss that boat in favor of something we think is going to benefit us immediately. And maybe it does. But for as quick as some of that stuff can benefit us, it can take away from us just as fast. And that's the reason, when I see a lot of the paid articles and the paid narratives that are constantly trying to push up this blockchain while it's pushing down another, it's stuff like that. I don't see that from any other blockchain outside of shitty meme coins or Solana. I don't see stuff like that put out by any other blockchains. So it's a mentality. It's a shadiness, right? It's all there is to it. It's a shadiness. And that's why I've zeroed in and I've targeted Solana a lot in kind of my anti-stance. And there are a billion reasons why. I could do a video every day about some shady thing that's going on with Solana. But I know that a lot of people, they don't want to be told. They don't want the proof of what they likely already know in their head, because they don't want their conscience toiled with. We see that in a lot of other things going on today, right? People have an idea in their head, they're married to it, they feel emotional about it, they don't want to pay any attention to anything that pushes them outside of that little mental bubble they're in, that maybe their friends and the people that they love to hang out with are constantly echoing back to them. Yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. Facts be damned. None of that matters. But this is the way you feel. Go with it. Go with it. Go with it. And that's the same thing we see. It is a mentality. I think it's a programmable mentality. And I think it's very difficult to break. Like I've said before, Mark Twain has said it. It's much more difficult to prove to somebody they've been fooled, or convince somebody that they've been fooled, than it was to fool them in the first place. And so it is what it is. And a lot of people want to be like, oh, you're wrong and whatever. But I guess we'll find out in the end. But that's why we get a lot of this stuff, folks. And I like Nuvola. I think it's cool. I'm willing to see where it goes. I'm anxious to learn more, and I'm going to continue learning more. I'm sure I'll update you guys over time. And if I'm looking at Bitcoin, there's really not a whole lot happening right now. It's currently trading at 59,282. It's sitting right on the moving average line. I've got a conditional limit order set at 60,000. If it gets back up to there, even if it moves back just to come down, that's fine. My liquidation price will be really, really low. I'm on an isolated 3x setup right now, so I'll feel pretty comfortable even if it goes up, picks up my limit order or my conditional limit order, and then enters the market at that price and goes down from there. That's okay. It is what it is. Looking at Bitcoin, I've seen videos recently on a weekly candle that says we're in like a really perfectly defined cup and handle, which is typically a bullish pattern. And it very well could be, because we see there's a lot of green down here, man. I mean, there's a lot of green on all sides. There's a lot more bullish liquidity in the market than there is otherwise. So what's happening right now, I mean, doesn't really make that much sense to me, but this is going to continue to grow. I think we're probably set for a recovery and some sort of turnaround. But as of right now, we've just set a new channel here. So we'll see how long this lasts. Maybe it goes through the month of August before we start seeing any really good positive price momentum. But I'm definitely hoping to see some good stuff around Cardano. We're currently green on Cardano on a 4-hour candle, but when you get up into the 44-cent range, it's really bearish price action up here. So we're gonna have to chew through this wall, 7.716 million, which that looks terrible and it looks difficult to get through. And it is when the market is trending, or it's like if it's trending sideways or moving down a bit, obviously it's more difficult to chew through that. But when the market gets bullish and the market really starts going on a tear, this can get chewed through in a few hours. Like, it's just not that big of a deal. It's just when the price is tentative, that's when it's difficult, because you kind of hit it, come down, hit it, come down. Each time you're chipping away at the order books until all this is gone. We turn green and then the price moves up 5 cents and everybody's happy, right? It's just how the price moves in Cardano, because there are a lot of tokens, but I think we're going to get through this just fine. So make sure you guys go and you sign up. Excuse me. Go sign up on this wait list here. We need more people signing up for this wait list, because we've got a lot of things brewing behind the scenes. And they want to see this wait list continue to grow. So yeah, help us. Send this link around, make sure you sign up, fill out some of the questions that are going to help us, because, we're going to be multi-chain as well at some point. It's not just going to be all Cardano all the time. We're going to be multi-chain as well. So make sure you join that wait list. I'm very much looking forward to seeing all of you guys out at Rare Evo. 3 days, 4 hours, 41 minutes. Hopefully you've gotten your tickets. I don't know how many are left before the whole thing is sold out, but now with RFK Jr. coming, man, it's going to be a big deal. And also, I just knocked my microphone down. I'll show you these. I bought these. These are my Ray-Ban Meta glasses. So I'm going to be wearing these the whole time I'm at Rare Evo. And I'm basically going to be recording everything, man. Like, everybody I meet, everyone I talk to, every conversation I have, basically, I'm going to be recording. And where are they going to go? Well, these glasses basically shoot for Instagram. So I guess it's going to become Instagram content, because I guess it shoots it in a square format. So if you want to see a lot of this stuff, you're probably going to have to follow my Instagram, because the only way to change it for like YouTube or something is by cropping it, which basically makes the quality like crappy, I guess. I don't want that. So I guess I'm going to use these as a way of building up my Instagram account, which I never really pump, but I'm Crow of Crypto on Instagram, not Crypto Crow. That's an old account I had. It was much bigger than my account now. And somebody was impersonating me. And when I reported them, for whatever reason, Instagram blocked us both and banned both our accounts. Way to go, Instagram. I personally can't stand Instagram, but it's what everybody uses, and I feel like they really screwed me for no reason. I was like a victim, and they're like, yeah, well, screw you too, victim. It's like, cool. I don't know. Maybe I had to have like purple hair or something in order for them to give two shits about me. Otherwise, I guess I'm just a global enemy to all. I don't know. It's all just insane. Whatever. But hey, if you're on there, follow me, and I'll be putting out a lot of cool content over the next several weeks. So that's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Wow, this is way longer than I expected. I just don't shut the hell up, do I? I really do just ramble about 20 different things at the same time. Well, I don't know. Hopefully you guys pull a few little nuggets out of all of that. You guys can enjoy the rest of your day. So until next time, crow your coins, and I'll see you soon.